it was once a month. It's always been once a month, and it'd be in different homes. And then sometimes we'd hire a hall and we'd all go along and have a real banquet.
They'd have a progressive meal. Well, the one group had organised the nibbles and then go to another house and have the meal, and then go to another house and have the sweets and coffee and have a cake.
It was somewhere you could leave your children home with your husband, and it was a night out for us all. That was the reason we all joined.
We've had to take along a piece of our craft work that had never been finished, and that was quite hilarious. Someone had started a baby's jacket when their son was only a little fellow and was now grown up and married with his own children and had never been finished. So one of the ladies took it away and finished it.
We had a bit of entertainment sometimes. We'd put on a bit of a skit.
And another night there was a song, something, I can't remember it all, the yellow polka dot bikini. You might have heard it sometime. Yes. Well, we all made our bikinis.
Oh, I'd love to see it today.
Well, we were beautiful because we were all a bit robust too. And we'd cut these triangles and join them together and put it around and tie it at the back, and that's your top. And then the pants were much the same and tied on the side, you know. You were covered respectably. But then that was another night of entertainment.
I was born in Taringa, Queensland, and I came down to Clunes when I was 2 years old. My father was the butcher there. And then later on, my father came to Federal. And he was a farmer, and we were very young then. We went to school in Federal all our life. The only place we went to school was Federal. We only came to Byron Bay to visit my grandmother, and probably we used to come by sulky then, and it used to take us a few hours to get down, Mum and Dad and Jean and myself.
I came here when I was 12 from Wollumbar. My father used to work at the butter factory in Wollumbar, and he was transferred to Byron Bay.
I came across from Western Australia and lived in Sydney.
My father came up from New South Wales, south coast, Shell Harbour, and selected land at Cooper Chute, and it was all scrub at that time. A couple of his brothers also came up, and they all started and fell the scrub, and then built a house, followed by a second house for my mother and his mother and father.
We had 3 sons, and the 2 younger ones, as they grew up, were very keen board riders. And when they got into their teens, they used to come up to Byron Bay with a group of friends to go surfing.
I married in 47 to a boy that came from here, was born here on a farm just out at Skinner's Chute there. He was on the railway, so we moved around, but we come up here every year because his family were here, who come here about 1903, I think, and in those days the eldest boy stayed on the farm and the others had to go elsewhere, look for jobs elsewhere type of thing, and Tom went on the railway.
So when my husband, it was time for him to retire from the sea, and we thought we'd move out of Sydney somewhere a bit quieter, I would have liked to have gone to the Blue Mountains because I loved the mountains, but that would have been absolute disaster. There was only one place to go, and that was Byron Bay.
Actually, out on the farm, there's 8 in the family, 3 boys, 5 girls, and when the eldest was born, a fig tree was planted on up behind the dairy.
Fig tree.
Yeah, and then when Tom was born, another fig tree was planted on the property next door. And when the youngest one, he was alongside Raywoods, but his fig tree died, but the other 2 are still there, so they're 80 years old and 82 years old, the fig trees, that they're beautiful trees. My husband retired 21 years ago, so we come back here, back to the home ground for him. He was conceived out on the farm, he was born on the farm, and that's where he wants his ashes spread, on the farm. I hope the new owners will let us.